Okay, lesson 2-1, percent of a number. Find each percent, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Now all you need to do, well, you can use proportion to do this kind of problem, but there's another way of solving this problem. All you need to do is have to convert this percent into decimal, and after you get decimal, you just multiply the decimal with the this number. So for number 1, you have 0.65. When you convert this into decimal and you multiply by 186, so 0.65 you multiply by 186, that will give you, this is 120.9. And you do the same with this number. What you need to do, you use 0.23, you multiply by 640. So 0.23 multiplied by 640, that gives you 147.2. And for number 3, when you convert this into decimal, I give you a 1.75, and you multiply this by 10, you will have, this is equal to 17.5. And the rest of the number you do the same. Let me try to write all of this in percent time with the number first, and you can spend time to multiply this by yourself. Convert this into decimal. You have 0.054, and you multiply by 65. Spend time to do this one and multiply to get you your answer. This is for number 5. You have 0.024 multiplied by 20, and you find your answer. This is you have 0.005, and you multiply it by 60. This number 0.075 multiplied by 30. And then for this number, you have 1.08 into decimal form, and you multiply it by 50. Okay. Now for the other problems, for this one, you do the same, by the way. Alright, let me just show you one of the number so that you can spend the other number to spend your time to solve this problem. And for number 9, so you have 4 over 5, this will be over 100 because it's percent, and you multiply by 500. So you can do this way. No, you can work on this one first if you want to, or you can just multiply right away. So I will simplify this first. So in other words, I have for this part alone, I work on this. I will have 4 over 5 multiplied by the inverse of this second fraction, 1 over 100. So I have 4 over 500. Okay. So for this part, you have 4 over 500, and then you multiply with 500 over 1. So let me write this into this form: 4 over 500, and then you multiply this by 500 over 1. Let's multiply this. Well, if you simplify this together, obviously, now you have 500 simplify it, cross simplifying, you have 4 over 1 or just 4. Okay. And for number 10, for number 10, you convert this number. Well, you can write this as a 5 point, you can write as 5.5%. So from this one, you convert into decimal, you have 0.055, and when you have this, you just multiply it by 60. You have your answer. This problem, 1000 or 1000%, when you divide by 100, now you have 10 multiplied by 99. And the rest of the number, you do the same thing. You have, this is going to be 5.2 multiplied by 100. And for this number, you have 2 multiplied by 78. And for this number, you will have 0.0028 multiplied by 50. Let's continue to number 15. For number 15, there are 20 questions. Alright, 20 questions on a multiple choice test. If 25 of the answer are choice B, how many of the answer are not choice B? Okay, so first of all, you need to find 25% of 20 first. So all you need to do, 0.25, you multiply this by 20 questions. So you will have 5 as your answer that has choice B. So when you multiply this together, it's 5 questions, and that 5 is the question that have choice B. But the question asking for how many of the answer are not choice B. So since you have 5 questions choice B, so are not choice. Since you have 5 questions belong to choice B, then the other 15 will belong to not choice B. 15 questions. Number 16. A family paid $19 each month for the internet access. Next month, the cost will increase by 5% because of an equipment fee. After this increase, what will be the cost for the internet access? Alright, so 19 increased by 5%, or in other words, you have to find how much it increased. 19 increased 5%. You need to find the how much it has increased. So you got 0.05. You multiply by 19. 0.05 multiplied by 19. That will give you a 95. $0.95. So in other words, next month it will increase. The cost will be $0.95 more than the last month. So to find the cost of the internet access for the next month, all you need to do just use 19 plus with 0.95. So for next month they will pay $19.95. Number 17, that's the last number for section 2-1. 250 people were asked for their name to name their favorite fruit. Of those surveyed, okay, of these 250 people, how many people prefer peaches? Okay, peaches, 32%. All you need to do, you just use 0.32 and then multiply by 250. This is the all of people who are being surveyed, and these people who like peaches, 32% of 250. So 0.32 multiplied by 250, that will give you 80 people. So 80 of them that like peaches. And then which type of fruit did more than 100 people prefer? Okay, among this fruit, what is the fruit that has more than 100 people like? So you have to answer, your answer must be the name of the fruit. So for peaches, 80 people. Let me find the 44% of 250. So 0.44 you multiply by 250, that gives you 110 people. So I believe the answer to this one will be berries. But let me try this one for cherries. 0.24. You don't need to find that one actually, because the 82% is 32% is 80. So 24% of course will be below 80, so the answer will be berries. Lesson 2-3, the percent proportion. Find each number round to the nearest 10 if necessary. Okay, this is a little bit different from our previous lesson in 2-1, where we skip 2-2 anyway, but we jump right over to 2-3. Find each number round to the nearest 10 if necessary. Right, what number? Okay, asking what number is off. Alright, now let me show you how I notice about this problem of writing the proportion before you do your work. So keep in mind, if the off number is missing, this number off, and then this is the number for is up here. This is how I notice. Make percent over 100. Let me explain to you how to do this, how to notice this part, so that you will know which number to put up here, which number to put down. For example, now in this number, what number is 15% of 60? So it seems like 60 is down here, of 60, and then the missing number is up here, n, and then is equal to the 15% of that number. So once you write this proportion down, all you need to do is just simply using 60 multiplied by 15 and then divide by 100. Let me do this part for you. So you got 60 multiplied with 15 and you divide 100. That will give you 9. Okay, by using this kind of thing right here. So we continue to number 2. 12% of 70 is what number? Alright, so of 72, sorry, so I have 72 down here, number missing up here, and you have 12 over 100. Once you write like this, all you need to do is you simply using 72 multiplied by 12 and divide 100. You will have your answer. This number 12 is 90% of what number? Of what number? It seems like the number down here is missing, and then 12 is up here. And then you will have 90%, 90 over 100. Now when you write like this, all you need to do 12 multiplied by 100 divided by 90. You have your answer for n. Right, 9 is 12% of what number? Of what number? So it seems like the number, the denominator is missing again. So n down here, and the numerator will be 9 is equal to 12%, which is 12 over 100. So all you need to do, using 9 multiplied by 100 divide by 12, you will have your final answer for n. Okay, now let's move on furthermore. Right, same idea. Let me write this part for you. Is of the numerator, and of will be as the denominator. So is for numerator, of for denominator, percent over 100. Number 5, what percent of 50? Alright, so what percent of 50 is 18? So of is down here, 18 is up. What percent p is missing? Over 100. So all you need to do, you simply using 18 times by 100 divides 50, you will have your answer as in percent. So 18 multiplied by 100 and you divide 50, that will give you 36%. Make sure you answer in percent. For this number, 12.5% of what number is okay? Of what number? So the denominator is missing again, and the numerator will be 24 is equal to 12.5%. So 12.5 over 100. when you have like this, all you need to do 24 multiplied by 100 divides 12.5, you will have your answer for n. Number 7, what percent of 300 is 0.6? What percent of 300 is 0.6? So the 300 will be the denominator, is, which is up here as numerator, 0.6 is equal to what percent? P over 100. So let me do this part again for you. 0.6, you multiply this by 100 and then you divide by 300. That will give you 0.2%. The 0.2%. Then for number 8, what number is 0.5% of 8? What number is? Okay, so the numerator is missing and the denominator is 8 of 8 is equal to 0.5 over 100. So all you need to do 0.5 times 8 divide 100. So 0.5 multiplied by 8 and then you divide 100. That will give you a 0.04. 0.04. Okay, now for number 9. Of 60 books on the shelf, 24 are non-fiction. What percent of the books are non-fiction? Alright, convert this into percent. Of 60 books, so you have 60 books and then 24 of them is equal to P over 100. So to convert this, to find percent of the question, what percent, asking what percent. So 24 times 100 divide 60. 24 times 100 divide 60, that will give you the 40%. 40%. Number 10, a pair of sneakers is on sale for $51. Is it 75% of the original price? So 75% of the original price, which means the original price is missing off. So you have N right here, missing, and 51% is at $51 as the numerator, equal to 75 over 100. So what was the original price? That's how you need to do. 51 times 100, 51 times 100, and then you divide 75. That will give you $68. So this will be $68 as your answer. Number 12, Roman has two red pencils in Roman has two red pencils in his pack bag. If this is 25% of the total number of pencils, how many pencils are in his backpack? Alright, so you have a 25% of the total number. So this is the numerator and the denominator is missing. It's equal to 25 over 100. All you need to do is 2 multiplied by 100. You divide 25, that gives you 8 pencils. 8 pencils. Last number 12. Eileen and Michelle score 48% of their team points. If their team point had a total of 50 points, how many points did they score? Alright, of the total point. If their team had a total point, alright, so 50 as the denominator, and then here the missing score as the numerator, that equivalent to 48%. So to find how many points did they score, all you need to do 50 multiplies 48 and you divide by 100. That will give you 24 points. Lesson 2-4, the percent equation, write n percent for each problem, then solve, run to nearest 10. Alright, before we write the equation, let's write into proportional form first. We try to relate this to our previous lesson. So of what number? So of is down here, is 84 is up here, and then 60% you have 60 over 100. Now once you have this, so to write this into an equation, what you need to do, you have to define n. So you have, well, actually the answer could be very, you can write 84 times 100 is equal to 60n, sorry, 60n. So that is one of the equation, or you can just interchange this around, the mean of the proportion. But for the moment, let's stick to this one. So once you have this one, to write the equation, all you need to do, so this is the equation you need to write it in your answer. So you will have 60n is equal to 84 times 100. Now once you write this equation down, to find the value of n, this is very easy. You get 64 times 100, and then you divide 60. Yeah? The same way with the rest of the number. First of all, you need to convert, write this into proportional form first. So you have 65 down here, and then the number up here is missing, is equal to 39 multiplied by over 100. So once you have like this, so you will have multiply n together, multiply n with 100 not together. So you have 100n is equal to 65 multiplied by 39. Now once you have this, to find value of n, you get 65 multiplied by 39, and then you divide by 100. For number 3, you do the same thing. Oh, I think I have made a mistake with this. It should not be 470%, it should be just 400. So let me erase this part. So what number is 53% of 470? So all you need to do, write in proportional form first. 470 will be down here, off, and then the numerator is missing, and then you have 53 over 100. So you will have this as 100n is equal to 470 multiplied by 53. After you have this, and then you simply multiply this number together, and then you divide 100. You will have the value for n. 70 is what percent of 150? Okay, so 75. So it seems like percent is missing of, so 150 down here, 75 up here is equal to p over 100. So all you need to do, p times 100 first. You have 150p is equal to 75, you times by 100. So once you have the equation, write the equation down, and then you multiply these two numbers together. After that, you divide by 150. You will find the value of n. For number 5, same idea. Of, so of is as the denominator, and then the numerator is missing, is equal to 24%, or 24 over 100. So to write equation of this number, n times 100, your cross product, n times 100, you have 100n, and is equal to 20 times 24, or 25 times 24. When you multiply this together, you divide by 100, you will have the value of n. And then let's go down to number 6. For number 6, what number is 65% of 98? So 98 as the denominator, the numerator is still missing, and percent is 65 over 100. You will have 100 n is equal to 98 multiplied by 65. So once you multiply this together, divide 100, you will have the value for n. For number 7, you have of 64, so of is down as the denominator, 64 as the denominator, and then numerator is missing. This is equivalent to 135%. So to find this, to write this into equation, you will have 100n is equal to 64 multiplied by 135. Once you multiply this together, you divide by 100, you have your answer for n. For number 8, what 450 is of what number? Alright, so the denominator now is missing, and the numerator will be 450 is equivalent to or equal to 75.2 over 100. So to find this value, to write this equation, cross product, you have 75.2, so you have 75.2n is equivalent to 450 multiplied by 100. So once you write the equation like this, to find n value, all you need to do, 450 multiplies 100, and then you divide by divide by 75.2. Let's move on to words problem. The store sold 550 video games during the month of December. If this made up 12.5% of its yearly video game sale, about how many video games did the store sell all year? Alright. Now, all you need to do, you write the equation down first, so that you will know how to solve the problem. Well, actually, you don't need to follow the first instruction. You don't need to write this one down. All you need to do, just answer the question, how many video games? So to solve the problem, so I will write on this section. So you have 12, this made up of its yearly. Okay, so it seems like that 550 as the numerator, and the denominator is missing, which means the video game that had been sold for a whole year. So you have 550 over n, which is the number of video games for a whole year. That number, this 550 will be equivalent to 12.5% or 12.5 over 100 of the whole year. So once you write this proportional down, all you need to do to find the value for n, you are using 550 multiplies 100, and you divide 12.5. You will have your answer for n. Number 10. For number 10, Ruben bought 6 new books for his collection. This increased his collection by 12%. Okay, so which means that 12 books represent, or 6 books represent the 12% of his collection. So how many books did he have before his purchase? So the numerator, the denominator will be his book collection before purchase, and 6 will be the new books that he just bought, and that 6 books represent 12% of his collections of book. So when you write this formula down, all you need to do, 6 multiplied by 100, and you divide 12, you have your answer for the number of this book. So number 11. Number 11, Ruben. No, sorry. The length of Giselle's arm is 27 inches. The length of her lower arm is 17 inches. So 27 inch, 17 inches. About how many percent of her arm is her lower arm? Alright. So asking for percent. So you have 17 as the numerator and 27 will be the denominator. And that asking for percent. So when you write this down, all you need to do 17 multiplied by 100 and then you divide 27, that will give you your answer. It's about how many percent? So you can round this to the nearest 100 or to the whole number, doesn't matter, because it doesn't say anything to such extent, nearest 10 or nearest 100. So let me do this part for you then. So you have a 17 multiplied by 100 and then you divide 27, that will give you about 63%. To 63%. Okay, for number 12, approximately 0.02% of North Atlantic lobster are born bright blue color. Out of 5,000 North Atlantic lobster, how many would you expect to be in blue color? So right now you have out of 5,000 as the denominator, and the numerator is missing, which represent 0.02% or over 100. So how many would you expect to have blue out of blue in color out of 5,000 lobsters? So all you need to do, once you have this equation, this proportion, you use 5,000 multiplied by 0.02 and you divide 100. Let me do this part for you. 5,000 to multiply 0.02 and divide 100, that will give you 1 lobster. Okay, so let's go with the other numbers. Alright, one last number, which is number 13 in this section 2-4. Suppose you earn $6 per hour at your part-time job. What would your new hour rate after a 2.5% raise? 2.5% raise. Alright, all you need to do, you have to find how much you earn after, how much you earn when it raised to 2.5%. So you will have 6 as the denominator and n is missing, represent the 2.5% of your previous hour rate. So once you have this number, all you need to do, you're just doing the cross product. So you have 6 multiplied by 2.5. Let me write clear for you. So you have 6 multiplied by 2.5. You divide 100. That will give you $0.15. So n is equal to $0.15. So this is the increase of 2.5%. So what will your hour rate be after 2.5% increase? So all you need to do, you just use 6 plus 0.15. That will give you a new hourly rate. It will be $6.15.